This segment is brought to you by Barker Honda. It's better at Barker.
The award celebrates those whose selfish contributions have strengthened and enriched the E.D. White family through generosity, commitment, and acts of service. Brother John, of course, exemplified all of these things, and thus the award will forever be named after him. Brother John posthumously received the first award in March of this year, so the second person has big shoes to fill. Well, we have a person who fills those shoes very well, and he's here with us today. Coach Eddie Cole began his service to E.D. White in 1976 and really only planned to be here a short time, but like many of us, he fell in love with the E.D. White family, and he served and stayed here for 32 years. Coach Cole, who lettered in track at LSU, led E.D. White to its first championship in cross country in 1978 with his girls team, and then again with the girls in 1979. His boys teams won 4 state titles in a row from 1981 to 1984, and again in 1986. And he later turned the Cardinals into a state power in the 2000s. And both boys and girls teams are still considered state powers today. He led E.D. White to 13 state titles in cross country while he was here. Along with track and cross country, Coach Cole also coached football, basketball, and was the athletic director for 15 years. Former athletic director Mary Cavell said this: "He spearheaded cross country here and was a mentor to everybody and was very generous with his time. He is a man of tremendous faith, and with everything he has gone through and is going through, he will be the first to tell you you can't do it without prayer. He is a Cardinal through and through. He just has a tremendous giving spirit." He wasn't just in athletics. He was part of the Key Club. You could see him playing music at the old folks' home. He's a professional harmonica player for all those people who know him well. He was always singing on retreats. He was big on talent shows, and he wanted to let people know to be themselves and to be giving and to serve. Speaking of service, on a personal note, he taught me what being a real teacher and coach is. Take you back to 1979. When I was a senior. I was in the band, I was heavily in the band. I was the band president. I was not in athletics. Well, he took the PE class out to the track and had his long jump. He said, just long jump, just go ahead. So we were doing it. Well, he came up to me after class, and I'll try to imitate him and said, "Hey, Tim, you ever thought about going out for the track team? We need some jumpers." I was like, "Coach, I can't do that. I'm in the band." And you know, and you weren't in athletics if you were in the band at the time. I said, "I'm the band president. I can't miss rehearsals." He says, "All right, I'm gonna talk to the band director. I'm gonna talk to the band director." So sure enough, he talked to Easton LaBeouf, who was the band director, and the band director said, "He can be on the track team, but he can't miss band rehearsals. He can't miss band rehearsals." So every day from that point, that man stayed. I got out of band at 5:30. I go out on the track, and he's sitting at the end of the pit. Just me and him worked. He worked with me individually for 3 months. That's service. That is service, and that's what we try to instill in our coaches and teachers today. Thank you, Coach. By the way, I made it to the state meet. I got to jump at LSU, and it wasn't because of talent. It was because of coaching. Thank you, Coach Cole. Without further ado, at this time, I'd like to present the Brother John Distinguished Service Award for the 25-26 school year to Coach Eddie Cole.
I said I wasn't going to cry. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be back at E.D. White, place where I spent 32 wonderful years. I only came down here for a year or two, but I fell in love with E.D. White, community of Thibodaux, and decided to stick around. I was excited when I first got here and saw our celebrant was Father Josh Rodrigue, former E.D. White cross-country runner, and also was excited when I realized I was back in the gym for the first time in 17 years, but it was the first time my PE class doesn't have to pick up the chairs after Mass. So that was good. I'm just so honored to be here and to see so many of my fellow colleagues and fellow teachers and coaches, administrators, Brother Paul, Brother Ray Hebert. It's just great to hear. There's nothing like being a Cardinal. And congratulations to the class of 26. I know you're going to make a great impact on the world. I was a little more excited till I realized I got my senior ring 60 years ago in 1966. I thought, man, I'm getting old. But it's just wonderful to be back. There's no place like E.D. White. There's no place like E.D. White. I'd like to say a little bit about Brother John. Brother John was amazing. We started the cross-country program. When we first started, I had a call-out meeting for cross-country, and half the people thought we were going skiing. I said, no, not that kind of cross-country. Brother John and his dog Roscoe used to come run with us. And Brother John and I became good friends. He and I started doing some backpacking up on the Appalachian Trail, and just had some wonderful memories of Brother John. Knowing my 77 years, I've discovered that some people do service as a vocation. Some people, that's their job. Some people do service as an avocation. They have an interest in something, it's their hobby or their interest, they take interest in it. What I learned from Brother John and the Brothers of the Sacred Heart and Sisters Mount Carmel is for them, service is not a vocation or an avocation, service is their life. And I learned that from Brother John. And after he did, his key club here was perennial winner of the outstanding chapter in Lamiston District. He was a missionary in Africa. And last I saw him, he was on the Navajo Indian Reservation. I was privileged to take 12 trips between Christmas and New Year's of students from several Catholic schools, including E.D. White, to do mission work on the Navajo Reservation. But I got to see, he didn't just do service, he lived service. That was his life's calling. And I'm so appreciative. I was fortunate here to be exposed to the charism of the Brothers of the Sacred Heart, the Sisters of Mount Carmel, and to see that service is something you live. And I'm so excited for this class and all the students to know the impact that you're going to have on our world. I'm so honored. This is a great honor. And I thank the E.D. White administration, the faculty and staff, student body, parents. It's everybody that pitches in together that makes this a special place. What as they used to say, it's amazing how much you can accomplish when no one's worried about who's getting the credit. And everyone here is so sacrificial and so selfless. And that's what makes E.D. White a special place. I want to thank my wife Cheryl for helping us get here. We live in Blairsville, Georgia, about 5 miles from North Carolina in retirement. My son Rob, who was the 1994 outstanding graduate, 96, Rob, sorry, and from E.D. White. He's a cardiologist up in the Atlanta area. Thank you for coming, son. And I'm so grateful I see so many familiar faces, familiar names and everything. And if I don't get to speak to every one of you, just know how much I appreciate you and appreciate you being here and the impact you've had on my life. I'll close with this. I learned a lot from the brothers, Brother John to all the brothers. Brother Gaspar, who was here, I used to see him in the teacher's lounge between class. Brother Gaspar was in his 80s, I was in my 30s. I'd be passing through, he says, you know, Coach, every day you wake up is a great day. And I'm like, yeah, brother, whatever. I gotta get some coffee for my next class. I don't have time for all that. Now, I'm 77. I'm a 3-year cancer survivor. Spent 3 years at Northside Cancer Institute. And got out, started with a walker, started with a cane, ended up hiking in the mountains on the Appalachian Trail. I actually was president of a 200-member hiking club. And now I can barely get to my mailbox. Started having some leg issues. And after numerous doctor's appointments and tests, the doctor finally told me, young man, I don't think he said young man, says, sir, you have ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, which is a terminal illness. I know it claimed Guy Guidry and Miss Tricia Grove also is suffering from it. It's a terminal illness. And I'm just grateful for each day. I'm grateful for all the people that are praying for me. I think that's what's keeping us going. And most of all, I thank God for giving me another day and allowing us to be here, because every day you wake up is a great day. Thank you so much. God bless.
I'll bring your wall down for you.
Thank you, Coach Cole. I was privileged to be a student here when Coach Cole was teaching, and then to be one of his colleagues. And some of my most memorable times were on fan buses together. He was the perpetual fan bus driver. And at one point, the weather was bad and the students were real loud, and I was 20-something and they weren't listening to me. And he said, I got this, Michelle, give me my backpack. So I handed him his backpack, he unzipped it, and he held it up, and they all got quiet. He held up his harmonica. He would threaten them with playing the harmonica over the radio. So that was just the key. He didn't even have to play it. And he said, you just play it loud and bad enough, he said, they'll get quiet. So we had some good times. So thank you so much, Coach Cole.
I'm tremendously honored to be mentioned in the same breath with Brother John Hotstream. He was a remarkable person, and I was so blessed with my 32 years here, being exposed to the Brothers of the Sacred Heart, Sisters of Mount Carmel, the wonderful Thibodeau community, the parents, the alums. It's just a fantastic place. It's a very special place. I just feel blessed to be here. Well, Coach Jordan Reed has done a wonderful job. He ran for me on the state championship team, but it's such an honor. Cross country has come so far. Our first team, when I first came here, we trained for a week and a half, went to meet, finished 23rd out of 24th. So they've come a long way since then, and lots of state championships. So I couldn't be more proud of Coach Jordan and all of the Edie White athletics. They do a wonderful job. I left Edie White after 32 years. The only reason I left was my 87-year-old mother in Baton Rouge needed help. So I took a job in Baton Rouge so I could help my mother for 10 years before she passed away. And unfortunately, my retirement's been rough. A year later, I was diagnosed with leukemia. Spent three years at Northside Cancer Institute. Thankfully, I'm in remission, and had started hiking up on the Appalachian Trail up there. Unfortunately, about 6 months ago, I started having leg issues. I was eventually diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So I'm still getting around without a wheelchair and praying for the best.
This segment was brought to you by Barca Honda. It's better at Barker.